Beth woke up feeling groggy and disoriented. The last thing she remembered was driving home from a late night at the animal clinic she owned. Now, as she looked around, she realized she was no longer in her car or even on Earth. The room she was in looked like something out of a science fiction movie, all sleek metal and strange lights. Before Beth could even begin to process what was happening, a door slid open, and 3 tall, spindly aliens entered the room. They had large oval-shaped heads and pitch-black almond-shaped eyes. Their skin was pale grey and they wore some kind of metallic jumpsuits. "Greetings, human," one of them said in a cold, emotionless voice. "You have been brought here to provide veterinary services for our animals." Beth stared at them in shock. "What? Where am I? Who are you?" she stammered. "All your questions will be answered soon enough. Come with us now," the alien commanded. Too confused and scared to resist, Beth allowed herself to be led out of the room and down a long, brightly lit corridor. Everything was stark white and sterile looking. It certainly didn't look like any spaceship she had seen in movies. They arrived at some kind of medical bay. Beth saw animals lying on metal tables, but they looked nothing like any creatures she knew on Earth. One looked like a mix between a giant insect and a lizard. It had way too many legs and glassy black eyes. Another looked like a furry slug, undulating slowly under the bright lights. "You will examine these animals and determine what ails them," the alien instructed her. "Use any equipment you need. We have synthesized your primitive medicines and tools." Though still reeling from shock and disbelief, Beth's veterinarian instincts kicked in as she approached the first animal. She tried to ignore how utterly alien it was and look for familiar symptoms and vital signs. Surprisingly, the creatures were not too anatomically different from Earth animals. One seemed to have an inflamed respiratory system, while another had a bacterial skin infection. As bizarre as it all was, Beth soon found herself in a rhythm, diagnosing and treating these alien animals just like any other patient in her clinic. She almost forgot how insane and inexplicable this whole situation was. The aliens observed her closely but did not interfere. When she was done, they said, "Good. You have proven yourself competent. We will provide you with food and rest. Tomorrow you will see to more of our animals." Beth was escorted back to her stark white living quarters, which contained basic furniture like a bed, table and chair, along with a small restroom. A slot in the wall dispensed water and some sort of tasteless but nourishing pellets for her to eat. Exhausted, she collapsed into bed and fell into a fitful sleep. The next day, Beth was taken back to the medical bay to start examining more alien animals. This became her routine for the next few weeks or months. She lost track of time. Wake up, eat, treat aliens' pets, sleep. She started to pick up bits and pieces about her captors and their planet. They said they were called Irithans, from a planet thousands of light years away. Their pets and livestock had been falling ill with mysterious diseases, so they had abducted Beth to help treat them using her veterinarian skills. Apparently, veterinary medicine was not well developed among the Irithans. While learning to understand the Irithans' language, Beth slowly taught them how to properly care for and heal their own animals. She showed them about preventative medicine and sanitation procedures too. Though they remained aloof and impersonal, the Irithans came to appreciate her knowledge. One day after Beth had successfully cured a major outbreak, the lead Irithan said, "Human, your services have proven quite valuable. You will now be returned to your home planet unharmed." Beth's heart leapt with joy, though part of her would miss all the exotic animals she had treated. She said farewell to the only life forms who had shown her kindness on this strange ship, gave their furry heads a final pat goodbye, then stepped into some kind of teleportation device. There was a bright flash, and then Beth found herself back in her car, driving down the exact same road she last remembered. Had it all been some vivid dream? But no. When she got home, there was an alien communicator device sitting on her kitchen counter. Over the next few months, Beth heard sporadically from the Irithans about outbreaks on their planet and new diseases they wanted her advice on. They transmitted images and data she analyzed to figure out treatments. It became Beth's little secret that she had this side gig as an intergalactic veterinarian. While she went about her normal earthly life, every so often the aliens would call her for a consult across millions of light years. She didn't mind keeping up her life-saving work, even if her patients were now beyond the furthest stars.